In life, we only get so many heartbeats. We only get so many breaths of fresh air. For each person, this number is different, and none of it's guaranteed. In between those heartbeats, like the shutter from a camera, you're capturing a memory. If you want to know who you are in this world, take a cross-country trip on a motorcycle. And if you want to change who you are, do it on a Harley Davidson. Let's address the elephant in the room. Although there's a nostalgic feeling with the Harley Davidson, it doesn't really matter the brand, and it's not really the point of this film. Just watch.
And hopefully we can get it to fit on Mo.
I first fell in love with distance riding when I participated in my first Saddle Sore 1000. For those that don't know, it's pretty much where you travel 1,000 miles or more on a motorcycle within 24 hours. We just made it.
Ooh. Wow, 351. That, folks, is 20 minutes to spare.
After that trip, I was hooked, and I was drawn to it. All I wanted to do was pack up my bike and travel around the country, checking out new destinations. The concept for this film was pretty simple. Pack up all my gear, all my camera equipment, and take a 5,000-mile journey around the country. I wanted to share with you my thoughts and document the entire experience.
So I'm trying to stay as calm as I can. We are going to hit some weather. It looks like, on any road trip, you need to plan for all sorts of extremes. And when it comes down to weather, we have fires going on in Arizona. There's tornadoes in Arkansas. There's rain in Oklahoma, and there is snow in Minnesota. I really don't think that there's a way we're going to miss all of these, but we're going to have to make game time decisions just to make sure it's as safe as possible. 5,000 miles, solo trip around the country. A little excited, a little nervous, but let's go.
As I left San Diego, I came up with a theory. I believe everybody has wanted a motorcycle. No matter your age now, I'd be willing to bet that when you were a kid, you used the right handlebar of your bicycle and acted like it was a throttle, propelling you into an adventure unknown. You know that feeling when an old song comes on the radio? Or maybe it's the salt water from the ocean. Your senses take over and take you back into a specific place in your mind, and it's if you are there again. That's what these trips do for me. It doesn't matter when you entered my life or what influence you had, good or bad. Chances are I've found you once again in between those lines, out on the road.
Yeah, we're gonna use a hotel cart to take all this stuff up to the room.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I've had to use one of these things with a car, but with the bike I got a lot of stuff.
We're in Tucson. I unloaded a lot of crap. I'm trying to think about getting out here in the morning and it taking forever. Oh well, we'll deal with that tomorrow.
So I continued east, towards Oklahoma, and I can tell you, there's a beauty in this country that I think gets amplified when you're riding on two wheels. It's something you don't feel in a car. You become part of the environment and your surroundings. It's the smell of fresh cut hay or raindrops on the blacktop. Your senses are put in overdrive, and it's a feeling of freedom you only get from riding a motorcycle. Some of the best landscapes that I have ever seen are all because I took this trip. And it's something that can never fully be captured on camera. The roads I traveled and the places I saw, for lack of a better term, took my breath away. But of all the places, there is one that, for me, feels like a home away from home. Just riding into the KRiver brings a certain energy that I've yet to find its equal. It's like a college student coming home for Christmas break. Maybe that's why I've been here 4 times in the last 12 months. In between the staff and the traveling patrons, you can't just help but feel a part of something and the strength of the motorcycle community.
Believe it or not, one of the top breakfast places you can go to is a gas station.
And although this might sound like a cliche, I believe a part of my heart will always be at the KRiver Campground.
I found something that is pretty impressive. I want you guys to see this. I'm going to walk you through it. Here we have just a regular enclosed trailer. It's pretty remarkable. Here we go. Y'all take a look at this. You have top bunk, bottom bunk. You got dressers. We got storage and shelving. Probably now the world's greatest sink.
You know, I'd ride around the country and I'd find lots for sale in the middle of the country. I knew nobody lived there. It was a lot for sale. So I'd pull behind a tree line and I'd sleep, you know. I remember, we just mentioned it earlier, I remember, you know, sleeping underneath my lean-to next to my bike and it raining all night and I got scooter and I wake up and I'm soaking wet and I got a dealership I got to be to. And the gravity of that, a lot of people don't understand, but for me, it was, people are gonna meet me at that dealership and they're gonna donate money to our veterans. And to me, that's why this whole thing started, and that was what was so important. That's why I went so much longer than I ever thought I would, is because I had to finish it.
The KRiver Campground is one of the top motorcycle destinations in the country, and for good reason.
Part of this trip, obviously, staying in hotels, and then the other part is going to be tent camping, which, you know, alongside the bike here at the camp out is the way to go. So
whether you want to hang out by a campfire or with some other travelers at the community clubhouse, the KRiver has got you covered. Oh yeah, and the local riding is amazing. KRiver hosts multiple events throughout the year. And it just so happened that this weekend was the Fast Life Garage Campout. Riders travel from all over the country to be here. Complete with a photo shoot and a bike show at the event, this is definitely one you'd want to be here for. And yes, during the evening hours, there was some shenanigans.
Backing up, getting ready to leave. Man, I really hate leaving this place.
So I hit the road towards Minnesota, where I had planned to make my turn back to the west. But before I got up there were a few places on the bucket list I had to check off.
I'm pretty excited about this. Can't say that when I took this trip that I thought I'd be putting the bike on a ferry and crossing a body of water.
To be honest, I had no idea that riding in Arkansas was this beautiful. I chalk these roads up as some of the best I have ever ridden. And Dan and Brenda were nice enough to spend their entire day with me, showing me around to make sure I saw it all. And since we were in the area, there was one more place that I had to go and check out.
So I can officially check off the cat house from the bucket list.
I first met Dan, Brenda, and Josh during the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally in 2021. I had told them about my vision and my dream to come out to the Ozarks to check it out. They insisted I make this trip happen, and when I do, I would have a place to stay. After our rides, we would spend the evening time on Dan's front deck, exchanging stories of the road and of life. I will tell you, these conversations are ones that I will never forget. Being on the road on a trip like this brings a feeling of solitude, and one that is welcomed. Some would even say it's the point. But spending time with people that I meet on the road and engaging in conversation, that keeps me grounded. It reminds me of why I take these trips and why I do these films. I met up with some new friends in Iowa, grabbed some lunch, and got some much-needed service done on the Harley. This gave us some extra time to sit down and enjoy each other's company. A couple of them even offered to join me on the road to help me crush some miles as I continued north. Thanks, fellas. Mother Nature can be fickle, and she's got a great sense of humor.
Look at that, I already got a little bit of a sunburn.
When you're out on the road, the weather changes dramatically, and you have to change with it. But let's be honest, I'm from Southern California, and if it drops below 75 degrees, I'm grabbing a hoodie. I found myself to be frequently getting in and out of rain gear, and then in and out of rain gear again, which comes with its own set of problems.
So I just spent a long time getting my gloves on, rain gear on. These take a while to get on, especially if your hands are a little damp. And this came undone. I can't take all this junk off, so I'm trying to do this blind. Got it.
And this process continued, in and out of rain gear, and in and out of rain gear. There were even times where I just outran an upcoming storm. And if that wasn't enough, I had some crosswinds that I had to deal with. I'm still 91 miles away from the hotel that I'm supposed to be staying at tonight. However, I'm not going to get there till after midnight. I'm hiding behind a gas station right now because the wind is so out of control. It's blowing the bike all over the road. I'm going 60 in a 75 mile an hour zone. But with the rain, the wind, and the sunburns, nothing could have prepared me for what I was about to witness in Minnesota. I could suddenly feel the temperature drop.
And the weather is turning quickly. Yeah, I'm gonna jump into rain gear now. I've got about 92 miles left.
It started with some light rain, and then it rapidly evolved into heavy rain, strong wind, and lightning.
That's not good.
But I was only 13 miles away from my destination. 13 short miles. I can make it, right?
I'm in a freaking tornado! If I'm on the loose, running after you. There's nothing you can do. This is the absolute craziest thing ever! Hustle for the juice, 120 proof. I'm from San Diego!
I waited out the storm, and then I pushed on, battling more rain and a lot of flooding. I decided to back out of this one. And finally, after what felt like the longest 13 miles of my life, I made it safely to my destination. I will tell you, this will be a day I will never forget. Minnesota was never going to be just another destination stop. It was something a lot more than that. You see, my filming and motorcycle career started 22 years ago with my best friend Danny. This was before YouTube and definitely before drones, back in the day when we used to have to rent helicopters to get the shot. Danny and I have always remained close, and he's one of those friends that, no matter how much time passes in between seeing each other, it's as if no time has passed at all. And for the first time in 16 years, Danny and I saddled up and went for a motorcycle ride together. All in all, I spent 5 days in Minnesota, hanging out with Danny and catching up with the family. These are the intangible memories that run through my mind when I'm out on the road.
When everything comes crashing down, at your door when I hear the sound, you say,
I didn't have breakfast this morning, so it's gas station donuts. It's not helping.
wouldn't text if you moved on. You wouldn't keep me in your phone unless you knew that you were wrong. But I hold on, but I hold on, but I hold on for dearest life until you're gone.
Being in Sturgis during non-rally is an experience in itself. But during this visit, I took advantage of something called Bunk-A-Biker. It's pretty much where you stay with other motorcycle enthusiasts, free of charge. And although you might start as strangers, trust me, you leave as friends.
So whenever you're in Sturgis, there's one place you have to go for breakfast, and that's Uncle Louie's.
You wouldn't text if you moved on. You wouldn't
It's my hopes that you watch this film and you find inspiration. Maybe inspiration to buy that motorcycle, to take that trip, or visit that old friend. Just take that chance and travel the country on a motorcycle. Because what it comes down to is after every sunrise and every sunset and after every mile, there's a memory.
I say hello to Arkansas.
Amarillo, Texas.
Well, here's something we don't see a lot in California.
Sturgis, South Dakota.
A trip like this is not only good for your mind, but it's good for your soul.
That couple right there is from France. They flew out into Chicago. They rented a Harley Davidson and they are on a 3-week trip around the country together. 5,665.1.
So where do I go from here? And how do I do it bigger on the next film? A lot of times I don't have the answer. But now I'm thinking,